Fight, are you ready?
Combate Global.
Oh, what a punch. What an incredible fight. Can you believe what you just saw? We have a champion.
You can see Cedillo, 3 years the senior. Height just about the same, 2.5 inch reach for Cedillo, and again strawweight, which means 115 pounds. So,
arrancamos con mucha más acción las reglas oficiales. 3 vueltas de 5 minutos, 3 jueces, utilizando el sistema de 10 puntos. Este duelo, 3 vueltas en la división peso paja, this bout 3 rounds in the strawweight division. Los jueces son, the judges are Héctor Gómez, Richard Green Jr. y James Lázaro. Ahora, las damas se apoderan de la jaula. Llegó el momento de un combate global. Presentando la esquina azul, introducing the blue corner. Vestida de rojo con verde y blanco. She steps in wearing red with green and white. On the scale, she weighed in at an official 117.5 pounds. Sobre la báscula, registró un peso oficial de 117 libras y media. Esta noche, en su 6º combate dentro de la jaula, con 4 victorias y 1 derrota. Tonight, she enters la jaula for the 6th time as a pro, with 4 victories against 1 defeat. Representando a Monterrey, Nuevo León, México, Karen Cedillo. Su contraria en la esquina roja, her opponent in the red corner, vestida de negro con azul, blanco y rojo. She steps in wearing black with blue, white and red. Her official weight, 115.25 pounds. Su peso oficial, 115 libras y un cuarto. Esta noche entra a la jaula invicta en 3 combates profesionales. Tonight, she steps into la jaula undefeated as a pro with 3 victories. Repping the DR and fighting out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Criszaida Adame. Our referee, Wayne Spinola.
Ladies.
Wayne Spinola, the 3rd person inside the jaula.
Ladies, you know the rules. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourselves at all times. If you want to now, touch gloves. Step back. I'll get guys started.
4th straight week we have had an event here in this incredible studio. Incredible fight forum where the gladiators meet. Criszaida Adames, Karen Cedillo. This is going to be a great fight on paper, but what will it look like inside the cage? Adames in the black, representing the Dominican Republic, fighting out of Philadelphia now. Karen Cedillo, former competitive synchronized swimmer from one of the true hotbeds of fighting on the planet, Monterrey, Nuevo León, Mexico. Same place which gave us 6. As Cedillo takes the center of the house. Our fearless leader, Campbell McLaren, talking about the female fight game as Cedillo closes the gap. Campbell McLaren says, our women athletes over-deliver. We have one of the best rosters of women fighters in the world, so establishing a Combate Latina franchise is a great addition for our business. And here we are with 2 decorated fighters, 2 fighters. Feel the best lies ahead, but in order for that to stay on a certain trajectory, need a victory here. And for Adames, looking to, as my good friend Juliana Peña, who's busy preparing for her world bantamweight title fight in UFC with Amanda Nunes, would say, sometimes the O has got to go, and Adames doesn't want it to be tonight. But this is a unique circumstance. Fighters from all over the planet have been inactive. They are training, constantly training, and now there's fights coming in. And they're looking to seize the opportunity. some elbows on the shoulder blade, that tender spot. And Adames in a little bit of an uncomfortable situation, which is something we don't see. She may be looking to go for the takedown here shortly. Adames didn't have MMA on her radar, was studying to become a medical assistant. Started martial arts thanks to her father, taught her karate growing up, but she's become a more well-rounded fighter. Cedillo, we talked about synchronized swimming, which I got to say, anything you do in the pool is going to help you in any sport you take, certainly fighting amongst them. There's a drop, but in the process, Adames takes side control and maybe looking for that armbar. Crawls around, her right arm stuck underneath, and now a triangle attempt from Cedillo. We don't know how deep that is. I don't think it is too deep because you can see both legs are above the chin of Adames. Adames takes side control very nicely. Sprawls out to get better balance this time around. Under 2 minutes to go here in the opening round of 3. Again, now looking for that arm lock.
There you go. Stay active, girl. Stay active. There you go. Stay active.
Adames flattens it out again.
You don't have to mount, but the knee blocks that. All right, Chris, I need you to work. We got a minute 15, Chris. There you go.
Featured fight, and you see Claudia Diaz. She'll be facing sexy Dulce. What an opportunity for Diaz. This is good for Adames as she is soaking up the seconds in this first round, looking to get the nod from this first round. Last time we saw Adames coming off a second round rear naked choke over Claudio Baril. And now Adames looking to clear the guard of Cedillo. Big moment. Under a minute to go. Cedillo had a promising start, now holding on, trying to hang on to that leg so she doesn't clear the guard. And meanwhile, Adames staying very active. A flurry of right hands. Cedillo breathing out of the mouth, always a sign that it's starting to go into the deeper waters. Oh, this is excellent from Adames. The Dominican has cleared it. Now she can do some serious damage. Cedillo's got to hang on. She just heard the clap for 10 seconds to go, but that may feel like an eternity here. Cedillo in an uncompromising position. Adames, though, not enough to finish the fight, but really impressive from Criszaida, getting stronger as the round wore on. This is Combate Latina. We are so excited to bring this to you. 4th straight week of Combate Global. We're going to be really active throughout the month of May as we show you the highlights from the first round. You can see Cedillo closing the gap early on. Single leg, really nicely done by Adames, and gets right into the side control. And then she would eventually clear the guard of Cedillo. The ground game has got to be better. You can see how good Adames is in that form. Looking to remain unbeaten here, and that will open a whole world of possibilities. And we here at Combate, we sing the praises of our fighters from the United States and Mexico and Peru, Colombia. But what about the DR, La República Dominicana? You know they can throw down there, and fans are tuning in to see how Adames does. Second round begins. Again, Adames in black. In all likelihood, won that first round because of the ground game. But we are now in the stand-up. Good short right hand catches Cedillo coming in. These are two good fighters. You can see the stand-up game. They've got the boxing down pat. Better from Cedillo. Catches the lead leg. Check out Combate Global on our social media handles. So much big news coming your way. Friday. Lots of great events. We'd like to thank our international audience here tuning in to check us out wherever you may be watching. My name is Max Bredos, and thrilled to be taking you through our exciting night of fights. It's a great, wherever you are. You could be starting your day, you could be ending your evening. What better place to do it with some great entertainment. You will hear from these ladies and the guys when they fight that this is some of the biggest moments of their life. Some of the ladies on here, these are the biggest nights. Some are making their debuts. We'll get to that later on this evening. You can only imagine the high pressure and stake as Leo Riaño, our judge, gives that first round to Cedillo. I could perhaps see that after what she did, but the takedown game. And remember, the rules of the Jaula is activity, striking, movement. The ground game not necessarily encouraged as much as the other disciplines. But another takedown from Adames. This is her meat and potatoes armbar attempt from Cedillo. You can hear the corner. Keep punching. Pull out first for Adames and then start punching. Getting her instructions in English. Adames slipping. Got the wrist lock. This is pretty good on her part. But now Adames is out. Looping right hand into the guard. Cedillo's been on her back for the majority of this fight. Blood coming out of the left nostril. You can hear the Cedillo corner. You've got to work. The only loss for Cedillo, she currently is 4-1. Her only loss is to current UFC fighter Tracy Cortez. This is her fourth fight in the Jaula. She's been great at Combate. She is well-traveled, the Monterrey native. Cedillo's looking to do something now, perhaps going for the knee or ankle of Adames. Adames, very wise to the game, knows not to leave there and be a stationary target. Remains in the guard. Halfway through round number 2. Little hammer blows. Another one. Adames active. Adames' corner wants her to posture, get out. Oh, some good right punches into the nose of Cedillo, who's looking a little weary now. Adames takes the high ground. Comes in hard, connects again. The right hand is doing all the damage. And Cedillo, with nowhere to go, she can't return that kind of pressure from the lower position. Has to be active with those legs. Tries anything. Desperate triangle on that right lead leg. Punches into the ribs. Active fire. Do you want the judges to see you being active? You hear go back to the hammer fist from Adames' corner. They like that. Unbeaten Criszaida Adames, looking to be one of the big stars for Combate Global and for Combate Latina. Giving her some options. Adames looks very fit. No heavy breathing. Just taking it all in. But remember, 3 rounds now, and she needs to remain active. You don't want to leave the door slightly ajar for Cedillo. Wrapping up the month of April. Putting a lot of memories, a lot of activity, a wardrobe malfunction for Adames, but she was able to fix it. You can see a big smile comes to her face, and Cedillo returned the smile. Now Adames clears it. I wonder if she may let her up. That's not a bad strategy. Adames cooking up, as we talked about. She's a chef. Wrist control for a moment for Cedillo. You can see the cardio and fitness is key in fighting, and Adames has got it going on. No sign of fatigue. Cedillo, she's doing pretty well considering she's absorbed so much pressure, but she's got to be tired. 15 seconds to go in round 2.
10 seconds.
Keeps her in the guard again. And what will Cedillo do? Will she find a way to keep this off the ground? This is a smaller cage in Combate Global. They want the fighters to stand up and throw, to simulate a fight that you would see in a boxing ring. But Adames knows that's what she does really well. And most fights, let's face it, most fights end up on the ground. Facts. Big card tonight. We're going to get to all the highlights and action as we see how Adames took control of the floor. But she was active down there, and I don't see how you could fault her for any of that. But that was a dominant second round. One 1-0 in Combate Global. That was back in October of 2019. Beat Alma Cespedes, speaking of Adames. 4-0 in her amateur career, so she's never tasted defeat. Doesn't look like she's going to taste defeat here, but you never know. Third round. Cedillo in red, Adames in black. Cedillo needs to be aggressive, but right away catches a straight right hand, right up route one. Again, Adames going to take this down again, takes the back. Cedillo holds up for a moment, but eventually goes down. Maybe a submission attempt here for Adames, not really her bread and butter. Instead of the submission attempt, goes for the striking. Striking viewed very positively by our judges. Adames slipping in. Oh, you can hear those.
Yup, there you go. Yup, take it away. If she reaches in there, just sit on it. Keep damage, Criszaida. Pull it back down, pull it back down. We worked this. We worked it. Pull it back down. Pull it back down. Stay centered. There you go. Keep working her. Take her post away. Don't take her back just yet.
All women fight card here, all over the planet. Univision in the United States, down in Mexico, our entire international audience, welcome to Combate Global. Max Bredos taking you through all the action. Criszaida Adames laying down a marker, round 3. And Leo Riano did correct it. It was Criszaida Adames winning round 1, so Adames now winning both these rounds and looks to put the finishing touches. Could she be a little more aggressive? We'll find out here. Finding out of Philadelphia. En la República Dominicana. Combate Latina.
3 minutes, Chris. Watch her elevate.
Cedillo's defense has been good, but she's had to rely on it the entirety of this fight. Adames not letting her up. And at this point, why would you? Big.
Punish her. Kick.
Your 7-year-old daughter does not like to see her mom getting hit. She'll probably get a report of this, but she's not going to get the video of it. But mom has been pretty brave as Adames takes side control. Two minutes, 20 to go. And you hear the corner of Adames, careful, because this is all Cedillo has, looking for a submission attempt. But Adames is so good, protecting the wrists, the arm. Cedillo squirming out. What an athlete, though, Cedillo. She is not letting Adames just tee off on her.
2 minutes, Chris. 2 minutes. Stay active.
Corner saying to stay active. Adames starting to get a little tired. We're in the 3rd round here. Maybe a Kimura attempt. Instead, just takes the back. And there's activity. And Cedillo, again, making it very difficult to get clean shots. Adames, incredible dexterity, almost full stretch, almost a split to try and cover the width of Cedillo's target. Curling around. Adames certainly has a lot of work still to do. You see here, you want to be a better finisher. In Combate Global, you're going to leave it to the judges. You don't always want to leave it to the judges. You want to have some knockout power. You want to have a submission game as Cedillo turns and goes into the guard of Adames. And now with a minute to go, she has to think it through. She looks fit. She looks like she has plenty in the tank. Drops some elbows. Change of fortune very quickly here inside the Jaula at the studios of Univision here for Combate Global, Combate Latina. First all-female fight card. Remember we had that, the female, predominantly female card in Los Angeles back in 2019. It was tremendous. There really is great talent on the female ranks. They are developing some big stars. These are 2 of them. Adames now has a hold of the neck. Cedillo Now this is where she probably wishes she had another round. Adames for the first time looking tired, not delivering output, left herself wide open there. Cedillo couldn't take advantage though. Still gets a couple punches off. Cedillo still throwing. And that is the end. And you could say Adames was saved by the bell.
Después de llegar a la distancia, los tres jueces están totalmente de acuerdo, entregando tarjetas idénticas de 30 a 27. After going the distance, all three judges are in complete agreement, turning in identical scores of 30 to 27 in favor of the winner. By way of unanimous decision a favor de la ganadora, por decisión unánime. Y aún invicta, still undefeated, Criszaida.
No real reaction from Adames. She expected this, improves to 4-0 to match her 4-0 record in the amateur ranks. She knows this is a step. As she says hello, and Campbell McLaren congratulates her. Adames, they're expecting big things. This is a great prospect, someone late in the game. She's absolutely lovely to deal with, always with a smile, smart, university educated, and this is someone we look forward to seeing again, maybe as soon as this summer. Criszaida Adames winning via the decision unanimously by all three judges, 30 to 27, over Karen Cedillo, who drops to 4-2. Who has the big name? And Dulce Garcia does.
Representar a México es algo que siempre
to represent Mexico is something I've always dreamed about. And I am absolutely honored to represent the Mexican women. For me to be a part of an event that's only women is a great opportunity. So people can see that it's not different. Simply, we are women, they are men, but we give a spectacle. Sometimes better fights. I see each of my fights visualize a war. It is kill or be killed. And I'm not dying. Sexy Dulce has been an absolute delight. She has been on a media tour doing interviews for every major outlet, including ESPN. She is building it up, and as a company, that's exactly what you want from the fighters. Representing Mexico, and she told her how important it was to represent her country. This is part of the Combate brand. It's not just representing yourself, you're representing your country, and you better believe people are tuning in Mexico, cheering on Sexy Dulce, the same in Spain, hoping Claudia Diaz can pull up the surprise. Sexy Dulce has been there and done that, but looking to do it in MMA, 12 years the senior, slight height advantage, slight reach advantage for both different fighters. This is a catch weight at 118 pounds. Tolupe Contreras for the particulars.
Continuamos con mucha más acción. Este duelo, 3 vueltas a un peso pactado a 118 libras. We continue with much more action this bout. At a catch weight of 118 pounds, the judges are, los jueces son, Richard Green, Héctor Gómez, and Richard Green Jr. Ahora, las damas se apoderan de la jaula. Llegó el momento de un combate global. Presentando a la esquina azul, introducing the blue corner, vestida de blanco con amarillo y rojo, wearing white with red and gold. Her official weight, 117.5 pounds, su peso oficial, 117 libras y media. Esta noche entra a la jaula en busca de su primer victoria a nivel profesional con récord de 2 derrotas. Tonight, she enters the jaula in search of her first pro victory with a record of 2 losses. Oriunda de Barcelona, España, and fighting out of Phuket, Tailandia, Claudia Diaz. Su contraria en la esquina roja, her opponent in the red corner, vestida de negro con el tricolor mexicano, wearing black with the colors of Mexico, green, white, and red. She weighed in officially at 116.5 pounds de toda la báscula, a un peso oficial de 116 libras y media. Esta noche entra a la jaula invicta en 2 combates profesionales. Tonight, she enters la jaula undefeated as a pro with 2 victories. Puro Monterrey, Nuevo León, México. Dulce, Sexy Garcia. Our referee, William Clancy.
William Clancy, the third inside the jaula. And a quick word about Lupe Contreras, the best in the business. I don't care what you say, doing it in 2 languages. The best voice of the cage.
Mr. Green, you good?
Checking with the judges. You saw Claudia Diaz's record in MMA, 0-2, but you really shouldn't look too closely. This is somebody who's been immersed into the the Muay Thai scene, 17-7, fighting out of Thailand. She wants to keep it stand up. Obviously, the Muay but already active with the feet. And remember, as accomplished Dulce Garcia has been in so many things, still just getting started in MMA. This is a good start here for Diaz in white. In this opening 40 seconds. Comes up and down. Beautiful output by Diaz. And again, just sitting there and taking it is Dulce. Still early on, a minute. But Diaz had a game plan, and so far she's executing it. Overhand right, caught Dulce. Dulce takes the center of the jaula and finally unfurls her first blows. 5-0 in boxing is Dulce. 2-0 in MMA, so she knows she can strike. But it's a different kind of striking from Claudia Diaz, who continues to connect with both hands and now the feet. We have so many good events coming your way. We'll bring you all the action. Juan Puerta fight coming up next week. Don't want to miss Lead Feather. We will see all of that in a busy month of May here on Combate Global. We are live from the Miami studios as we speak. Diaz continues to strike and move. Really like how she moves her head. Never a sitting target. We'll see how she holds up fitness-wise. Sexy Dulce in close quarters. Very dangerous, though. Diaz very respectful of her opponent. I think she's a great fighter. She's genuine. She's helping other women participate in this sport. Thanks to all of her followers that she has, it's fantastic. Diaz knows that the wrestling world, the boxing world, Mexico is tuning in because Sexy Dulce is an established star. We have to find out if it's on the MMA rank. Blood coming out of the nose from Dulce Garcia. Has to be more active. Still a long way to go. Round 1 of 3. Straight left from Garcia. That was a nice right hook. That looked like somebody who has been boxing for some time. Didn't bother Diaz too much. Sticks and moves, sticks and moves. Look at the work of the lead leg. Diaz has been all over that lead leg, and Sexy Dulce has left the lead leg out there to be struck. Claudia Diaz continues to do what she wants, execute the game plan. Sexy Dulce already breathing heavily. Again, that's just leaving that leg out there. That is never a good recipe for success. Multiple left hands from Dulce Garcia. The takedown attempt by Diaz gets nice and low. And now in defense mode, the leg sweep. Claudia Diaz, this again, the 0-2 record, very deceiving. This is an accomplished world champion fighter in Muay Thai. Dulce now with the underhooks, turns back towards the cage. I think this is good for Sexy Dulce. Get in here at close quarters, got the underhooks in, see if she can striking some of the steam out of Claudia Diaz. The blood on the shoulder from the nose of Dulce Garcia. Garcia runs an online company, XP Gain, dedicated to selling sporting-based products, supplements. You can see she's in incredible shape, etched out of a rock. Been studying to be a training technique and nutritionist. Mentioned the pro wrestling. She says pro wrestling has done incredibly well for her to set up her MMA. That said, the proof's got to be in the pudding as they separate. Claudia Diaz doing really well to just stay out of reach. Watch if she continues to kick that lead leg. That into the midsection. Blood now around the mouth of Dulce Garcia. 15 seconds to go in this opening round. Now Garcia's starting to rile herself up. A little theatrics. Claudia Diaz comes in and strikes her again. Great round from the Spaniard, the Muay Thai champion, with a real nice 5 minutes. Game plan executed. What a massive result this would be. A long way to go, and look at the damage on the face of Dulce Garcia. What you have to think about, the pro wrestling game is tough, but once you get starting hit in the face, we've seen it with other pro wrestlers that have gone this way. They're like, wait a minute, this is not what I'm accustomed to. As we see what was strictly a striking first round, we had that one engagement up against the cage, which I think was a comfortable position for Dulce Garcia to be in. This is where the coaches have to come up big. They've had a good sample size to what the game plan's going to be from the opponent. A lot of times you hear these fighters, we don't know a lot about the opponent. That may not always be abundantly true. Of course, they've done some homework, but so many of these fighters focus on what they are going to do, and they assume the other fighter is going to adjust. But Claudia Diaz clearly had a... in front, in white. Just want to see a little more spring in the step of Dulce Garcia, because there was times her feet were just flat on the cage. Kind of like right there. Got to keep popping. Look at the feet of Diaz, how active they are. Gets in and out. Never going to let there and sit and allow Garcia to hit her. It and move. Short right. That one caught the chin of Diaz. But, Diaz comes in with a strong right hand of her own. And now punches and bunches. Garcia didn't like it. She retreats. More from Claudia Diaz. Sexy Dulce has to respond. It's turned into a fight in a phone booth. Bang! Another good left hand from Diaz. Right over the top by Diaz. Sexy Dulce's punches are not connecting. Claudia Diaz's punches are. You just don't know. After a pandemic, big matchup, favorites, underdogs, everything gets evened out in these circumstances. Getting ready, having to stay in a hotel for this fight. Oh, good left hand by Sexy Dulce. Claudia Diaz reached down. Is that all you got? But that one hurt her. Sexy Dulce has some real strong hands. Claudia Diaz now working that lead leg again. And you hear her corner say that. Work the lead leg. Uh-oh. Getting a little leggy on those kicks. Claudia Diaz is getting tired. Look at those kicks now. Nothing. Sexy Dulce senses it. Comes in hard. Maybe a change of momentum. That is better from Claudia Diaz. Swings in and out. In close quarters, I think that's where Dulce wants it. Sexy Dulce says she is a great inspiration to her daughter. That's what she wants to be. Daughter could not be here because of COVID quarantines. Will be different because she won't be here. We saw that when she fought in December, McAllen, Texas, victorious on the undercard of Alberto Del Rio and Tito Ortiz. Now a takedown attempt. Better for Sexy Dulce. But she wouldn't have been able to attempt that takedown in the first round because of the activity of Claudia Diaz. Diaz starts to look tired. Look at her face. Breathing out of her mouth. Up against the cage. This is also a time to get your breath. Dulce Garcia, a.k.a. Sexy Dulce, back in the day, known as Sexy Star, 14-year lucha libre career. This is Combate Latina all-female fight card. Sexy Dulce wants to be a main event fighter down the road. Tried for the takedown, but it's turned off horribly. And now Claudia Diaz is in the mount. Big mistake from Sexy Dulce, who is getting lit up with that left hand. Elbows now. Careful with the elbows. There could be an illegal one there. Back to the forehand. Sexy Dulce gives up the back. Oh, and now Claudia Diaz to finish the fight. You can see the referee creeping in, and it's going to be over. Huge upset. Claudia Diaz was running out of steam, turned it on, and knocked Sexy Dulce from her high perch. Look at the damage on her face. Claudia Diaz, the Muay Thai world champion, WMC featherweight champion, the World Muay Thai Council. She's good at striking. She knew she didn't have it right in her MMA career prior. Look at the emotions. What a moment. All that work paying off, and Sexy Dulce has to go back to the drawing board. It started with her mistake. Sexy Dulce was turning this fight around. Look how often she got hit on that lead leg. Over and over. And this was a striking game. But then Sexy Dulce tried the takedown attempt, and instead Claudia Diaz fell on top of her and then finished the fight. Pretty good stoppage there. I don't think you can fault that. Disappointing from Sexy Dulce. Again, we don't know what to expect. Wayne Spinola came in there.
Whenever you're ready.
I think they're talking, or if she wants to go see the doctor. You can see that left cheek took a lot of damage. Maybe a broken cheekbone there. I don't want to speculate, but when you see the fighter look a lot different than they did when they came in, it's a pretty good guess. Sexy Dulce, second best, and Claudia Diaz. And they've got to be elated in Phuket, Thailand, where she trains, in Barcelona, Spain, her hometown. She was so respectful of Dulce Garcia and this opportunity. She knew Dulce Garcia. And Dulce Garcia goes, that was a war. Claudia Diaz saying, yes, it was, and thank you very much. She knows this was an opportunity to be in the spotlight. Her credentials probably didn't put her in a position to deserve this kind of spotlight. This is Sexy Dulce's spotlight, but right now her face just torn up because of Claudia Diaz, who looked really good. I wonder if Sexy Dulce is considering that takedown attempt. She has to be, because the tide was turning in that second round. To me, there wasn't any doubt about it. Sexy Dulce went for the takedown. Claudia Diaz responded and finished the fight. We're getting ready for the official decision inside the Jaula, and we'll go to Lupe Contreras, where he is going to announce that Claudia Diaz victorious. Combate Latina.
Una serie de golpes sin respuesta obliga al referee William Clancy a parar la contienda con un tiempo oficial de 3 minutos 27 segundos del segundo capítulo. A series of unanswered blows forces referee William Clancy to stop this bout with an official time of 3 minutes 27 seconds of round number 2. Your winner, by way of technical knockout, la vencedora por knockout técnico de España, Claudia Diaz.
Her top, which was white, now covered with the blood of Sexy Dulce, and you can see the disappointment etched on her face. She is going to be tended to. She has a word with Campbell McLaren. I want to see sexy Dulce again. She's still learning MMA. Micah Framowitz also having a word with her. Micah Framowitz, who knows the fight game more than anyone. Obviously, these are really important words, as well as our referee, to hear what she did wrong and how she'd want to come back. We still have another big featured fight. Alitzel, Mariscal, Maraya Miller coming your way inside the Jaula here.
Entrando a la jaula, Alitzel, Mariscal.
Maybe a tribute to Ronda Rousey. Alitzel Mariscal coming out. Started MMA as a hobby. Used to go exercise with her aunts and train with the Mad Dogs team with her boyfriend Periquito Madrigal, who has fought in Combate. And now, after learning Taekwondo and other disciplines, here she is 2-1 in her MMA career.
Un peso pactado a 110 libras. We continue with much more action this bout. Set at a catch weight of 110 pounds. Los jueces, the judges, James Lázaro, Richard Green, and Héctor Gómez. Y ahora, las damas se apoderan de la jaula. Llegó el momento de un combate global. Presentando la esquina azul, vestida de blanco con negro, introducing the blue corner, wearing white with black. Detuvo la báscula a un peso oficial de 110 libras y media. She tipped the scales at an official 110.5 pounds. En su cuarto combate a nivel profesional, con 2 victorias y una derrota. In her 4th professional bout, with a record of 2 victories and 1 defeat. Representando a Guadalajara, Jalisco, México, Alitzel, Ale Mariscal. Su rival en la esquina roja, her opponent in the red corner, vestida de rojo con blanco, wearing red with white, her official weight, 109.25 pounds, su peso oficial, 109 libras y un cuarto. Esta noche, dentro de la jaula, hace su debut profesional tonight. Inside of la jaula, she is making her professional debut. De San Dimas, California, Maraya Samuraya Miller. El referee, Wayne Spinola.
Wayne Spinola, the referee, and one of the nicknames
Hey, ladies,
in
no rules. Obey my
Combate,
commands at all times.
Maraya
Protect yourself.
Samuraya
You
Miller.
want to now? Touch gloves. Step back. I'll get you started.
We know what to expect from Alitzel Mariscal, although we haven't seen her fight since May 2019 when she lost to Peruvian Muay Thai world champion Maria Paula Busaglo.
You ready? You ready?
That was a rough one for her. She got better as the fight wore on. Very similar to what we saw from Karen Cedillo against Criszaida Adames. And we are underway. It is Maraya Samuraya Miller in the right, catching that sharp left, goes for the takedown. And you hear the corner, put her down. That is the game plan. It has to be for Miller. She knows Alitzel Mariscal is a good striker. Miller, mother is a black belt in judo. Grandfather, a 9th degree black belt in judo. So maybe we'll see some judo throws. Grandfather had his own dojo, Orange County Kodokan. Maraya Miller, a true hero, a survivor of childhood sexual abuse, advocate for other survivors. She says, hope one day teach a martial arts program for women to help them reclaim their power. And it should never be taken away, and it breaks your heart that it ever was. For these women to regain confidence in their bodies. If you sit down and talk to her, she will spell it out for you. Let her know what she went through and how she can help people recover from such an atrocity, quite frankly. Alitzel Mariscal combination. That's her strike game. Miller catches that lead leg. Miller active now. inside of leg. That's where you want the soft, tender part of the inside of that quad. They engage. Miller takes down. Mariscal on her head. Side control for Miller. In addition to judo, Maraya Miller wrestled in high school. 4-year wrestler. Wrestling is the backbone of mixed martial arts. If you have that in your repertoire, you have a great base. You will do well because, as we said earlier, fights go to the ground. All the great strikers, they've all learned that. Eventually they do. Even in Combate Global, where we want the fights to remain upright, Mariscal hanging onto the cage. Miller, we got to see what she can do finishing-wise, submission. The judo's there. The wrestling's there, but what about the submission game? And what about the striking game when this fight, if this fight gets back on the feet? It will here. Mariscal trying to get that left arm loose. Knee into the midsection. That doesn't feel good. Now Mariscal looking to avoid another takedown. May have some leverage here. Nope. That is wrestling 101 right there. Cutting into the side control. She wants to go for the mount here, so she's trying to clear that leg. Mariscal knows that and doesn't let her through. After losing to Maria Busaglo in May, prior to that, Mariscal beat Vanessa Rico in March of 2019, beat Brenda Enriquez in October of 2018. She's from Zapopan, but fighting out of Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico. And maybe an attempt for a rear naked choke. Maraya Miller just very composed, not rushing. Make sure Mariscal keeps that chin down to not leave her neck exposed. Fighting from her back, turning Miller around. You hear the Mariscal corner, and they're happy with her movement. She's almost shaked Miller off her back, but Miller now digs in, gets her hooks in. Still can't get that right arm underneath. Mariscal's got the wrist lock. And Miller does the only thing she can. The rollout here from Mariscal. Now you don't want to give the back up because that's the position you don't want to be in. And now the rear naked choke almost hooked in. It's not under the chin though. Mariscal looks comfortable, so to speak, but doesn't want that to get any deeper. Miller still has to work on that submission game. Mariscal digging in the heels. That's a very active fight for Mariscal, and she's gotten out of that rear naked choke. Miller's trying to get back in it again. Maybe thinking of an arm bar. She tries to separate the arms from Mariscal to make that a no-go. Take that away from her. Miller suffocating here in this first round. 20 seconds to go. Alitzel Mariscal could probably survive this round, but needs to know to stay off the ground. Look, her arms are lost there. Her arms almost like a full Nelson.
10 seconds.
Mariscal just is going to concede this first round. Actually starts to turn and face Miller. Drops an elbow. And doesn't strike after the bell. Good sportsmanship, but Mariscal has to be tired after that. Miller, no heavy breathing. Very calm and collected. Hear what we can hear from the corners. Mariscal doing her best to avoid the takedown. Couldn't do it. Well-rounded here in the ground game. And the submission works, then all of a sudden Maraya Miller, if her submission game is there, she's going to go places because the wrestling, the judo can help set those things up, but you got to be more precise and you got to go for the kill. And look at Mariscal, inventive in her attempts to push back on Maraya Miller. Maraya Miller knows she's been waiting for this fight. From San Dimas, getting ready for round number 2.
Okay, ladies, here we go. Round 2. Ready? Fight.
Alitzel Mariscal, according to her, an all-round athlete. She loves it all. She loves to fight. She loves basketball, soccer, volleyball. Taekwondo is the one mixed martial art she says got her into it, enjoys the most, and Miller trying to do the takedown again and a nice judo toss. Very well done. The corner says not to rush. Mariscal wants to get out of here. Now do you get a better submission attempt? Now she's in a very powerful position, maybe looking for either a rear naked or an armbar, but Mariscal continues to move away from the sweet spot. Now maybe a hip toss. Mariscal turns. Miller very strong, but this is better from hooks in if she can, keeping the distance. Mariscal just wants to start striking anything, but she's got to get away. There's an underhook. Maraya Miller's going for another toss. She does it. The judo game coming in full bore. Two good tosses there that have gotten her in control into the second round. Mariscal keeps fighting. Who's got the leverage? Miller does. Maraya Samurai Miller. The 26-year-olds fighting Mariscal, who's just gotten started in this business at 22. At this point, Mariscal's got to be getting tired, having to fight with her back to the cage. Looks like some tape on the glove is loose from Mariscal. I don't know if they're going to tend to that, but you can see that the tape coming off the right hand, and you don't want anything hanging loose like that. Mariscal buckles in. Really good balance there. Drops the hips down on Mariscal. But now Miller's got to work on finishing. Got to work on finishing. The hips of Mariscal now raise up, and that gives her some daylight and an ability to slip from underneath. Miller's defense has been really good. Mariscal stretch, pushes, turns, and now Miller with the back. Halfway through round number 2, round 2 of 3. This is Combate Latina as Combate Global live from their studios in Miami, bringing you a complete card of fighters. We've had some incredible results already this evening. Criszaida Adames beating Karen Cedillo via decision. Claudia Diaz with the shock, stopping sexy Dulce Garcia in the second round. Alitzel Mariscal just cannot get up. She attempts to come up, she goes back down. She'll try again. Look, Maraya Miller is just, it's like that stray dog that just doesn't leave you, keeps coming and coming. It just gets on top and gets on top, will not relinquish. It's amazing. Miller just not very quiet, doesn't breathe, all business. Just can't get the submissions in order. And now Alitzel Mariscal, for a rare opportunity, is on top of Maraya Miller. 1:20 to go. Alitzel Mariscal's trying to loosen up those wrists so she can do some damage. And there it is. Not much behind those punches, and she's well into the guard of Miller. Next week we'll be back at it again. Juan Puerta in action. Can't wait for that fight. Waiting for Juan Puerta. Here is a good opportunity for Mariscal as she's dropping this. The defense still very good from Maraya Miller, but these punches starting to get through. But the legs just creating this cushion between the fighters. Miller happy to stay in this position for the time being. She is just a good counter puncher, so to speak. Waiting for Mariscal to make a move.
We're going to get up, Ryan. You got to get up.
And then take her down. But now Mariscal just wants to get some range. There's a little bit. Mariscal looking to win her third professional fight out of 4. Maraya Miller, her first professional fight tonight. There is the tape issue, and that's what I'm talking about. That could get into the eyes of Miller as we're down to the end of the second round. Mariscal gets away for a rare opportunity, but she's out of range. But she's still able to throw some haymakers. Something positive there for Mariscal to take in the third round. I don't think there's any doubt about it.
Tape on the left hand.
She knows it's a different fight now. Can she continue to take the fight down? They're going to cut off that tape. The referee was certainly waiting for a break. Beautiful judo tosses there. 2 of them in that second round for Miller. Right at the end of round 2, just a little daylight for Mariscal, and she took whatever Maraya Miller gave her, and it wasn't a lot. Final round. Second round's going to be a lot closer than the first. We'll see how they scored it. But we approach to round 3. However the second round was scored, Alitzel Mariscal has to go for it here in round 3. Comes across with a sharp right hand. Alitzel Mariscal in black and white. Ooh, glancing right hand. Miller didn't like it. Mariscal is unloading. Starts the third round with a bang. Miller tries to close the gap. Takes some starch out of Mariscal. She can't. Mariscal gets loose again, looking for a target. Miller closes the gap now. Just trying to take the energy out of Mariscal. Takes some power out of those punches. Takes that lead leg. Looking for the single leg now. Mariscal better with her takedown defense. Finally takes a knee as Leo Riaño gives Maraya Miller the second round too. I would tend to agree with him there. Miller had the better positions throughout. Third round is a different kettle of fish though. Mariscal with the combination. Has to stay out of the web that Maraya Miller is building in her fight defense though. No, another takedown attempt. Not this time. Mariscal leg sweep. The hip toss. Nope. Mariscal has learned her lessons well. Knee in 2 by Maraya Miller. According to Leo Riaño and possibly most of these judges, Maraya Miller could lose this round, but she is taking some big shots. Has the single leg again. Mariscal. Careful with the elbows. Now Miller changes the level. Mariscal stretches her out almost as a crucifix for a moment. This is really good from Mariscal. This is what she wanted to do. The difference now, her opponent a lot tired. And Miller got caught right on the chin. Trying to get out of there. Mariscal looks fresh and precise with those punches. Drops Miller. Mariscal firing down. Massive third round response from Mariscal of Guadalajara, Jalisco. Mexico versus the United States here. Mariscal downstairs, upstairs, into the ribs, into the head. Can't get on the ground. This is taking the starch out of her game. Maraya Miller knows it. She will be happy to slow this down, stop the strike game. Tries. There's no choke there, and Mariscal gets out, and her best interest is get to her feet. She's onto her feet. Big right hand, separates. Remember, she's only 5 feet tall, so she's always going to be the smaller fighter out there. She has caught Miller many times in the third round. Now, Miller doesn't want any part of this. She wants to close the gap, doesn't want to be in a boxing match. Smart from Miller. Dominating third round for Alitzel Mariscal in the white shorts. Plenty of time left. Changing levels, Miller. Doesn't have the oomph in her takedowns as she once had. Elbows to the back of the head. Takedown by Miller. Takes the back. Big time response from Samaraya Miller. Takes the back. Elevates. And you don't want someone else hanging on you like that. I don't care if they're 110 pounds like these two ladies or 220. It still doesn't feel good. Rear naked choke, not much in the attempt. I don't think there's a threatening situation here for Mariscal, but now she's got to be careful. Miller changing the lock there. Now it gets the body lock. You can hear her corner say, just lock it down. Do not get let her get back to her feet. Mariscal, you gotta respect the stick-to-itiveness. She is absolutely geared to get back up. Will not take no for an answer. 40 seconds to go. Really impressive from both ladies here. Fighting to the end. Third round, 30 seconds. Mariscal probably still needs a finish here. This is unfortunate. This was kind of what we saw from Mariscal against Maria Busaglo. Couldn't get going for the first 2 rounds. Third round, she was dominant, but it was too late. Will it be a similar script here? 10 seconds. Miller looks like she will clear the third round. Miller turtles up. Mariscal, you can see the frustration. Again, left it too late. Miller has to wonder if she did enough. The first round was Miller's. The first 3 minutes of round 2, Miller. Last 2 minutes, Mariscal. How do the judges see that will determine how they see this fight. Third round was one-way traffic for Mariscal as she finally was able to get the stand-up game going. And a lot of those punches connected. Unfortunately, punches in the third round don't have the starch of punches in the first round. If Mariscal was able to do this earlier, who knows how different things would have appeared. Those elbows very dangerous, and I think the referees have to take a long look at those. Certainly she wasn't grounded. And we await the official decision. Combate Global here in our studio in Miami. Glad you could join us here for our 4th event in succession. We are waiting the official decision here of Alitzel Mariscal and Maraya Miller. We'll show you what happened earlier in the evening, let you know what happened here in another wonderful evening of combat sports, mucho más acción, here in our studios at Univision in Miami. Maraya Miller and Alitzel Mariscal, the waiting game now begins. Late night action here in Miami. This is another thing for the fighters. You got to wait all day to get inside the Jaula to get things going. You can imagine they wake up in the morning on a Friday, have their breakfast, do some training, get tested, quarantine, wait, test again, the long process to get to the event, and then wait in the backstage, stay warm. It's such a challenge. You have to have such respect for these competitors. Everything they do certainly it's not ideal. It's not like it used to be. I think we can all agree to that as the conversations. I think Mariscal had to know how this fight was going to go. Maraya Miller took that superiority in wrestling, ground game, as well as judo. Saw it beautifully executed in the first 2 rounds. We saw the judo tosses. We saw the wrestling game as well. Now we await the official decision. Let's go back to the Jaula. The decision about to be read. Lupe Contreras, the voice of Combate.
Después de completar 3 episodios de mucha más acción, los jueces entregan tarjetas idénticas de 29 a 28. After going 3 rounds of much more action, the judges turn in identical scores of 29 to 28 in favor of the winner by way of unanimous decision a favor de la ganadora por decisión unánime, Maraya Samuraya Miller.
First time you see Miller smile. She has been stoic all night. She knew this was the biggest night of her professional career, and now she can exhale. The moment of the night, we have to go to Claudia Diaz. Referee stoppage in the second round, beating sexy Dulce, and her life has just changed, and changed for the better. A Spanish fighter from Barcelona, fighting out of Phuket, Thailand, learning Muay Thai, and now MMA. There are winners and losers. You're the winner by tuning in. Have a great weekend, everyone, on behalf of our entire Combate Global crew. My name is Max Predos. We'll see you next week. Plácido Domingo.